showtime, folks.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back to Kelly's first question. Was the attack on Paul Pelosi an impetus for this speech to happen? Was it an inspiration? Had the president already been working on it? What's the timeline on this?
Just a little, just to share, you know, this is something that the president has talked about for some time, right? This isn't new for this president. He's talked about, we all know about the soul of a nation and how he decided, one of the reasons he decided to run in 2019 was because of what he was seeing, was because of what occurred in Charlottesville, which was devastating to see that in our streets.
Oh, really?
In America. And he spoke very clearly. You saw the op-ed that he wrote when he saw that. And so it has always been something that's been top of mind for him. He spoke about it in his inaugural speech, you know, the soul of our nation and protecting our democracy. He spoke about it on January 6th, the anniversary of January 6th, just this past year. You heard him speak about this in front of Independence Hall, or at Independence Hall, outside of Independence Hall to be more specific, where, you know, our democracy started, if you will. And so this is a conversation that he continues to have. Clearly, we are seeing an uptick, a sad uptick of rhetoric, of political rhetoric coming from really extreme Republicans. Look at it. In office. And also, yes, you know, we saw this violent, awful, horrific attack on Paul Pelosi. And so, you know, there are reasons that he believed this time was now to make sure that he spoke directly to the American people. Again, and he has said this before, this is nothing new, we are at an inflection point. These are not regular normal times.
You can say that again.
One more question, and I know we keep asking it, but I'm going to try it from a different angle.
I wonder what the question's going to be, Tim.
I don't know what I'm going to ask.
The president of the White House.
Okay. Correspondent Association.
They're great names.
So I went back. Every president since Bill Clinton has, immediately after the midterm election, held a lengthy press conference to talk about the results, to answer questions from reporters about what it means for his presidency. Ronald Reagan did it too. And just today, you haven't yet committed to holding a press conference on the 9th. Does this mean that President Biden is going to break with this tradition?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Look, I'm not going to get far ahead of where we are currently. I'm sure the president will take your questions like he does almost every day, and that we will address the elections the day after Election Day, and I'm just going to leave it there and not get ahead. I'm sure that the president, again, will make his voice very clear the day after Election Day, and I'll leave it there. I understand the question, I appreciate the question, and I'm happy to answer it every time it's asked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Karine. Following up on your comment that there's an alarming number of Republicans who are saying they're not going to accept election results, does that mean President Biden thinks it is a threat to democracy if somebody votes Republican?
Nobody cares.
No, that's a ridiculous question. No.
It's an odd thing to say.
Why is that a ridiculous question?
Because American people should have their right to vote for whomever they want. The voting is a sacred right. It is something that the president wants to protect at every turn, and he has done that. He's taken actions to protect the right to vote, and you see Democrats in Congress also doing the work to protect the right to vote. We are talking about MAGA Republican officials who have been very clear about this, who say you know, they are pro-police, but then they are also pro-insurrectionists. That is, you cannot be pro-police and be pro-insurrectionists, who also say they want to defund the FBI. That's a problem. That is a problem that we are seeing, and who I've said have been very clear that they have been very clear about pushing and peddling the big lie, peddling dangerous conspiracy theory. And so that's what we're talking about. But the American people have their right to make a decision on who they want to represent them, and they should be allowed to do so.
Okay. In the context of calling out election deniers, then, is he going to call out Republicans that deny election results and Democrats that deny election results?
It doesn't matter if there's a D or an R after your name. He will call out any rhetoric that is that leads to potentially political violence, or that calls to political violence, for political violence. That is a problem. The president has always condemned political violence. It doesn't matter, again, if you're a Republican, an independent, or a Democrat.
Whew. Now I feel better.
So President Biden thinks democracy can survive even if Democrats are not in charge of Congress.
The president is optimistic. He is an optimistic, you know this, Peter. He is an optimistic person.
Me? Are you kidding?
Answer me.
And he understands there is majority of the Americans out there who do not believe in election and denying an election, who believe in actually protecting our democracy. There are a majority of Americans who believe in strengthening our democracy, and that's what we see. But the president, as the president of the United States, he believes it is his duty, it is his responsibility to call out this rhetoric, and that's what he's going to continue to do.